for more than a century, the Webster Mill's been a feature here in this town. Okay, and I guess, you know, over the last 40 years or so, we can look at it, we can say, well, you know, it really was dilapidated, it really needed to go. But it really was a feature in this town for a long time. I mean, it provided tax revenue, it provided, you know, employment to people, it provided a livelihood. It really was an important part. It is time for the Webster Mill to go, and I mean, I still have a tremendous amount of respect of the role it played here in this town, but it is time to go and see what we can do to make a new life for that part of town.
So the current property owner of Webster, how it got to EPA is Webster Mill, and they lack the funds to conduct repairs. As Tony said, the building was demolished, emergency demo, and the resulting asbestos-containing debris pile are covered. It's about 7,000 to 8,000 cubic yards of asbestos-containing material, and that's pretty expensive. So that's kind of where the EPA steps in. Prior to the demolition, there was in 2015 they did an asbestos survey, and they found what type of asbestos and how much of asbestos was in certain types of material. They only saw chrysotile, which is good compared to some of the other types of asbestos. Some of the other types of asbestos can be a lot worse for you.
We see this a lot in old mill buildings all throughout New England. All of the old construction material, a lot of it, the roll-on roofing tar, the old tile floors, some of the window mastic, all of those building materials were constructed with asbestos in. So when the building demolition happened, all of that asbestos-containing building material got commingled with some non-asbestos-containing building material, which is the totality of that pile. For EPA's purposes, we now have to treat that whole pile as asbestos-containing material because we can't segregate out what has asbestos and what does not. So everything in that building foundation will get taken off-site and treated as asbestos-containing material and removed and disposed of at an EPA-approved off-site facility.
They also did some paint chip samples, and they did find some lead. So, as Mike said, what we're going to treat is all commingled. Asbestos is really the driver here. So we've kind of started work, if you guys haven't drove by in the last couple weeks. So what we've done so far is a lot of site preparation. So I'd like to, shout out EPW for helping us cut down a lot of the vegetation. It's a really good partnership we've had with the county of North Attleboro and the state. The state's providing our fencing for the rest of the site, and the town's been helping us out with clear vegetation. So it's a really great partnership we have. We're going to demolish the rest of that building that's still standing. The next few weeks we're going to be recycling a lot of the metal debris and segregating that and cleaning that off. And then we'll start removing the asbestos debris. We're estimating about 8,000 tons of debris material, so that's a lot. So it is going to take some time to do it. I expect to see heavy machinery and workers in protective clothing, for cleanliness. So it's more of a concern when you're right there in the pile, but if you're outside that fence, it's less of a concern, right? Because you're not actively in there getting those fibers cut up to you. So 7 to 5 is really that Monday through Fridays that is that. So we're going to be monitoring for asbestos as well as sampling. So our monitoring can't monitor for asbestos, but you can sample for asbestos. But when you sample, you're not going to get a turnaround time of instantaneous, as you can for monitoring. So what we're going to do is we're going to be setting up perimeter air monitoring locations, and we're going to have one off-site. Our largest engineering control is water. So what we're going to do is we're going to water down that pile so no dust comes up. We see essentially a plume of dust, right? We need to water it down.
They're going to start digging, and you're going to be spraying this down. What are the chances of that asbestos getting into the ground? Because there is a lot of water in this neighborhood.
The state of Massachusetts has the Wetlands Protection Act, which we've talked to the Town Conservation Commission and also the Board of Health to make sure that there are some sort of mitigation procedures in place. On our fencing, we have not only a visual barrier, but we also have hay bales in there, and the hay bales does a lot to absorb a lot of the runoff. And we did have conservation look at our stream and sort of approve our activities.